Good afternoon, Southwest Florida. I'm Bri Walling. This Naples Herald Lunch Break is sponsored by our friends at Fusillo Kia of Cape Coral. This afternoon, we'll tell you about the Florida Supreme Court taking up the issue of providing high-quality public schools in the state, the father of a veteran who was shot seeking treatment speaking out, and more. Today is Tuesday, May 1st, and this is the Lunch Break. The Florida Supreme Court on Monday said it will take up a long-running legal battle about whether the state has met its constitutional duty to provide a high-quality system of public schools. Justices issued a brief order agreeing to consider the nearly decade-old case spearheaded by the group Citizens for Strong Schools. A Leon County Circuit Judge and the First District Court of Appeal rejected the group's arguments, finding in part that it is not the role of the judges to determine education policy. But in asking the Supreme Court to take up the case, the plaintiffs argued that the justices should establish that courts can interpret and carry out a 1998 constitutional amendment at the center of the lawsuit. That constitutional amendment, approved by voters, said it is a paramount duty of the state to make adequate provision for the education of all children residing within its borders. The amendment fleshed that out in part by saying adequate provision will be made for a uniform, efficient, safe, secure, and high-quality system of public schools. Monday's order accepting the case, as is common, did not provide any details about the Supreme Court's view of the case, but it indicated at least a partial split about whether to hear the dispute. The father of a veteran with post-traumatic stress disorder who was shot at a government clinic in Oregon blames Veterans Affairs for letting down his son. Gilbert Matt Negrete, who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, is in jail charged with attempted assault and other crimes after he allegedly displayed a knife during a confrontation at the VA clinic in nearby White City on January 25th. A VA guard shot him in the chest. His father has voiced his concern, saying his son needs help and not prison. A VA spokesman said the agency doesn't provide care to a jailed veteran, while the detaining agency, in this case the jail, has the duty to provide it. Matt Negrete, a war veteran and father of 3 children, had become upset when he went to the clinic for treatment and was told to come back later. Another soldier who served with Negrete in the 10th Mountain Division said Negrete was a really driven, goal-oriented soldier. Their unit maintained Kiowa helicopters and sometimes came under mortar fire. In Afghanistan, during their second deployment, a mortar round tore apart a wooden shack 20 yards from their own, wounding all the soldiers inside. He believes VA should have provided better care for his friend and headed off his breakdown. Gilbert Negrete, who'd driven his son to the clinic and witnessed the shooting, said he's recovered from his chest wound but is receiving no psychological help besides medication. He faces charges stemming from incidents over 3 days, including driving under the influence of a controlled substance, attempting to elude police, and menacing. 5 years have passed since the stunning news broke of 3 abducted women having escaped years of physical and sexual abuse endured during a decade-long captivity in a Cleveland house. 2 of the women, Amanda Berry and Gina De Jesus, were subjects of extensive police investigations after their disappearances, but the third woman, Michelle Knight, who was abducted in 2002, was not known to have been missing. The 3 were rescued from the rundown house of captor Ariel Castro in 2013 after Berry broke through a screen door. Police found De Jesus and Knight upstairs, where their bedrooms were outfitted with chains and locks. Castro was sentenced to life in prison plus 1,000 years, but he hanged himself in his prison cell a few months later. Knight, now 37, lives in the countryside in Ohio, is married, and has changed her name to Lily Rose Lee. Her captor had impregnated her several times, then beat her until she miscarried, with doctors telling her she may never be able to have children of her own now. She'd had a child before her abduction, who was 2 at the time, and has since been adopted. These days, she works with her foundation, Lily's Ray of Hope, which supports women and girls who are victims of domestic violence, human trafficking, and child abuse. Her new book, Life After Darkness: Finding Healing and Happiness After the Cleveland Kidnappings, comes out today. And that was the lunch break for today. I'm Bri Walling. For your twice daily news fix, head over to the Naples Herald YouTube channel and subscribe. Leave us a comment to let us know your thoughts on the news or what you'd like to hear about. The lunch break airs Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. right here at naplesherald.com. And don't forget to check out our morning report that also airs Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.